Hi, everybody. This is Lee Arnold, and welcome to another installment of our Whiteboard opportunities. Now, one of the things that we do here internally in my office is we have what we call acquisition agents or acquisition managers, and these are the people that are responsible to put the leads together, to make those outbound dials, to make connectivity with the seller, and begin to research the property and see if it's a deal that we want to do. Now, once we've made contact with the homeowner and we've decided or determined that there might be some opportunity, we're going to print out what we call a debt stack. Now, a debt stack is something that you can get through SendViews. If you're not familiar with SendViews or aren't currently using SendViews, you need to go check it out. Go to getsendviews.com and you can read up all about it. SendViews is an amazing piece of technology and tool, and quite honestly, without it, we would not be able to invest in real estate as successfully as we do. Now, this is a debt stack that comes from SendViews, and what it gives us is the homeowner's name, their mailing address, when they acquired the asset, how much they borrowed against the asset. It tells us the current value. It gives us the comps. It gives us the surrounding property, surrounding neighbors, what they paid for the house. Every piece of information you could possibly need to know about the property, the seller, the situation, so that you can write smart offers based on fact, not based on hopes and dreams and guesses. Okay, so here's a deal that one of my acquisition agents brought to me. It's a house built in 1992, sitting on a 1,600 square foot lot. The house itself is 1,462 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 4-bath. The current seller acquired the asset for $280,000 back in 2008. Now we're going to go back here into the debt stack, and you always read a debt stack from the bottom to the top. So literally you go in and you look at the oldest entry date, and then you move up to present so that we can identify when the current owner acquired it and how much they borrowed against it, because we got to know what's owed so that we can write an offer that will get the seller out of the transaction without having to bring cash to closing. This is a big mistake that most real estate investors make, is they don't check the underlying debt and they write an offer that's going to require the seller to bring $50,000 or $100,000 to closing. I'm sorry, you guys, sellers do not want to bring cash to closing to get out of their house. So we have to write offers that make logical sense to allow them to get out without bringing money to closing. Okay, so here's what we've got. Jackie, we'll leave out the name. The seller's name here is, well, the original owner's name was Jackie. She acquired the property in 2004 for $229,900. She then sold it to the current owner in November of 2008 for $280,000. The current owner got a loan for $266,000. So here's what we know. In November of 2008, the underlying loan for $266,000 from the current owner. Okay, so there's two things you've got to know in real estate before you do a deal. Number one, you got to know what they owe. And two, you got to know what it's worth or the value. Okay, now to get the value, we're going to check the comps. So we go back into our cool little report from SendViews. We go to the back page here and we look at our comparable sales. Okay, so on this particular property, you can see here that these are all the comps that have sold within the last several months that are closest in proximity to the subject property. Now we're going to look at the square footage, and we're going to look at the bedroom and bath count, and we're going to look at the sales price. So with just a quick glance, we've got a house built in 1992. I've got some comps here at 275, 300. Here's a 257.5. Here's a 303. So if we average and blend all of those together, we've got a value on this house of about $300,000. Okay, now we've got a loan taken out in 2008 for $266. That loan obviously is 12, 13, 14 years old now at this point, which means the payoff on the underlying debt is not $266. That's what they borrowed. They've made 14 years of payments, which means the payoff on this loan is going to be about $180,000. Now, a property with a payoff of $180 and a value of $300. We've got $120,000 worth of marginal spread here. So we're going to take our simple formula and see if we can buy this house. So what's the formula? It is ARV times 70% minus rehab. Okay, so if the ARV, take out your calculators. If ARV is 300, simply go to your calculator, take 300,000, 300,000 times 0.70, we're at 210, okay? Now, on the rehab, we're going to run our rehab at $25 a foot. So we have 1,462 square feet times 25. our rehab is going to be about 36,000. So if rehab is 36,000 and 70% of ARV was 210, 210 minus 36,000 equals 174. Okay, so 174 is what we refer to as our MAO, which stands for maximum allowable offer. So with a value at 300, an underlying debt of 180, all we can offer is 174 as a maximum allowable offer. So when you look at this, we can't offer the maximum allowable offer because it would require the seller to bring in cash at closing. However, what if we wrote the offer as subject to? So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, look, tell you what I'm going to do. I will just come in and I will take over your underlying loan. You can walk away. You don't have to deal with the house anymore. I'll fix it. I'll clean it. And I'm just going to take over your monthly payments. Now, the advantage of doing this is I'm going to be able to buy this house subject to, which means subject to the underlying lien. I can take possession of the real property with no money out of pocket, simply make the current underlying monthly payment, which is going to run about $1,400 on a house that if I want to hold it and rent, I can rent for $2,500. Or if I want to fix it up, clean it up, I take over the underlying loan, I invest $20,000 or $36,000 in rehab, and I sell it for $300,000, and I profit about, we'll call it about $50,000 profit. So even though my maximum allowable offer says I can't pay what they owe, by using creative financing and doing a subject to transaction, I can step in the property with no money down and still profit about $50,000 in cash in a window of less than 90 days. This is how you move the needle in your business, you guys. This is how you start making a lot more money in a lot less time. This is Lee Arnold. Have a great day. Happy investing. God bless you guys.